Greetings and salutations, everybody. Rad Dreams here from Rad Dreams Review, and I am finally able to record my After Origins Game Fest video for the very first in real life Digimon TCG regional. That was in Columbus, Ohio, very recently. And I was able to attend the regional on Saturday. There was two, one on Thursday and then one on Saturday with, a couple of events in between, kind of cool, events, if you will, for players such as like a 3v3 or like a gunslinger format, or it's like very, fast paced. But today's video will be talking about the event itself, the experience, how I placed, and we'll also kind of go over the deck profile that I used to get 37th place out of over 200 people that attended the tournament itself. After drops and things of that sort, I think there was like around 190 or so. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong though in the comments below. With that being said, if you do like my channel, like my content, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It does help me out immensely. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the regional. So overall, the experience was amazing. It was my very first big tournament for a card game in general, like ever. I've never been to a regional. I've never been to this sort of event before in terms of this scale. I mean, it was breathtaking, honestly, to be surrounded by like-minded individuals and to compete at a higher level in person rather than online. And speaking of which, in my humble opinion, and honest one for that matter, I thought that this in-person regional went a lot more smooth than the online ones that I've done in the past. Not to say the online ones are bad, so to speak. It's just that this one just went so much better than those. Maybe because it's in person and you don't have to wait too long in between rounds. It was very seamless. There was no hiccups that I can really think of off the top of my head. So that was really, really nice. In terms of the people and the competition, everybody was super nice, super friendly, very accommodating. Nobody was like super salty or mean or anything like that. Like there was, oh, my kitty's gonna join me. Oh, he's being affectionate right now. But no, everybody that I faced was super nice, very friendly. No qualms there. The judges were great. They were very prompt in their rulings and how they handled each and every situation. The one thing I was very worried about was prior to the event starting, people were talking about like sleeves and things of that nature. And I have Dragon Shields. I always use Dragon Shields for my cards, whether it be Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Magic the Gathering. I always use them, that or Katana. Never had an issue. But the ones that I specifically had, there were like these white matte quality sleeves, like M-A-T-T-E, matte or matte. I forget how you pronounce it. But anywho, you could very barely see the back of the Digimon card itself. Like it was very faint, but if you looked close enough you could see it. And so I was like, that looks maybe a little sus. So I went to the head judge and I was just like, hey man, can you take a look at my sleeves, because I want to make sure that they're good to go and I don't get like DQ'd or anything like that or get a match loss. So he was just like, yeah, I can see it a little bit, so you're gonna have to get new sleeves. So I had to bite the bullet, spend $20 and buy myself some new sleeves. Luckily, the ones that they had there for me had really cool art. The ones that I got came with like, I forget what product it was by Premium Bandai, but it had Omnimon, Zwart, and regular Omnimon on it. I hadn't had those sleeves, so I was just like, you know what? for $20, why not? I'll get these sleeves, call it a day. So that was like the only like real hiccup. And I guess the only other thing that comes to my mind is I set my book bag down where I was carrying all my stuff, and I forgot that I set it down, and then I was like, oh crap, I went to go back to grab it, but it wasn't there. So it's like, oh my god, somebody stole my shit. So luckily I went to the PPG desk and was just like, hey, did anybody turn in a Pokemon backpack? Because I just for like jokes, I like to carry all my Digimon stuff in a Pokemon backpack, just to be goofy. And luckily, somebody had turned it in to the desk with all of my stuff in it. Nothing was missing. So the Digimon community, y'all are some real MVPs over here. And thank you to whomever turned in the Pokemon backpack. If you're watching this video, I would like to directly thank you. You are amazing. You are the MVP, and I really want to thank you so much for that, because literally all my stuff was in there. A lot of high value stuff was in there, and anybody could have just ganked it or rifled through it, taken everything, and then turned it in. And the fact that you didn't do that and just left it be and just turned it in like a responsible person, I mean, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. But in terms of the matchups, we faced, it was 7 rounds, and the first round we faced Imperial Dramon. Second round we faced Mastamon, which I was very concerned about, but luckily it went well. Third round was another Imperial Dramon. Fourth round was, what was the fourth round? I'm trying to remember. I can't recall off the top of my head. I should have written down what all I faced. I remember... fourth round was Red Hybrid. That's what it was. Red Hybrid was fourth round, and I got handily defeated. The first 3 matches I won. The closest ones were the Imperial in the third round, and then the Mastamon I was kind of worried about that it would go to time, but luckily I won 2-0 with that, so I didn't have to worry about tying or anything like that. But yeah, fourth round faced Red Hybrid. I think he actually made top 16 with his deck, and very skilled player. His name was like Jeffrey or something like that, but very skilled guy. OTK'd me both times. Blitz Omni for game both times. There wasn't really too much counterplay that I could do against him. Fifth round, I faced Armor Rush, and that was kind of nerve-wracking. One of the more difficult matches for sure. It was very close. Could have gone either way. I beat my opponent 2-1. Then sixth round, I faced Blue Hybrid. It hasn't gone away. And I ended up tying and going for a draw. And I was very disappointed because first match of our 3-round or 3-match series, I could have won, but I misplayed slightly because I gave him 2 extra memory because I was like, okay, well, I should Susanumon here and clear his threat out, and then I'll be good next turn to just win. Because I didn't really have a more effective way of dealing with his threat on the board than like Susanumon. And he was able to double a Zulongmon me with like 4 dudes on board, so he had like security check +5 for both the Zulongs. I was just like, what the hell? And then he was able to do hybrid for game after that, because a Zulong only costs like 1 memory or something at that point. So I was just like, yeah, 2 and hybrid and howling memory boost? Like, he had everything. I was just like, sheesh. So I guess I should have played around that better, but no, I didn't know. So second round or second match of our series, I did win because I was playing around that. And then that went basically to time. There was like 2 minutes left to go, and we had one more match to do for the three match series. And obviously we went to time, so unfortunately we tied. Next round was against Yellow Hybrid, and I was playing Yellow Hybrid, and it was a mirror match. I misplayed once again, first match, and I accidentally swung at him when he had like 4 Karis out, the purple Karis, where if a card gets removed from a security stack, you can tap it, gain memory, and he had 4. So I swung, he tapped them, and it switched over to his turn, and I was like, oh shit, I completely forgot. Had I been more cognizant of that, I think I could have won, but I just slipped my mind. Second match, it did go to time, and on my second turn, I was able to somehow pull it out. I don't know. He must have been like calculating things weird, because he ended up unfortunately decking himself out. He recovered and then evolved into a Fanimon fall down mode, and then recovered again. He drew, then recovered, and then there was no cards left. And at that point, it was his second turn, so it was my turn, third from final turn. So I was just like, okay, I'll pass my turn. Went back, and then decked himself out. Or I think that's how it went. I don't specifically remember how it went, but he did deck himself out, and I ended up getting the match win, and then it turned into a draw. So unfortunately, I did not make top 16, but I'm still happy with my performance. I got 37th place out of all of those people. One of my better finishes in the Digimon TCG for sure. So I'm very happy. Got to meet some really cool folks, really nice people. Overall, awesome experience. I'm glad I went, glad I attended. Wouldn't have changed that for the world. I just wish I could have gotten that top 16 and gotten my invite to Nationals, because I know I'm good enough. It's just a matter of like grinding it out and just doing these nuanced things that make the difference, So I think I'll get there eventually. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into a quick deck profile of what I ran for my Yellow Hybrid, and then we'll finish the video. Okay, let's start off with the babies. We had a split here. We had 3 Koopymon, and then we had 2 Upamon. I wouldn't change this split for the world. There's an argument to do 4 Koopy, 1 Upa. You're more often to resolve this than this, so that's why I like to run more of these. So there can be an argument to do a 4-1 split. I like the 5, though. I do like the 5. In terms of the rookies, we run 4 Patamon. The memory gain, gotta have him, and to abuse Rapidmon. Then we got 2 Salamon. I wouldn't change this rookie lineup at all. It was very solid. Nothing much more to say with that right there. And then these are the sleeves that I bought that I mentioned earlier. Then we got our level 4s. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 Rapidmon. He's the MVP of the show, big boss, quote unquote, of the deck. Gotta have 4 of him. Well needed. A lot of times what you'll do is you have a rookie in raising, ideally a Patamon, keep him in there. Hopefully you'll have a memory setter, have 3 memory, promote him out. They'll have a dude. You'll Digivolve on top of the Patamon with Rapid, suspend their guy, minus the DP, reduce him to 0, go back to 0 memory, so it's your churn still. Then swing, usually draw a card if you got Koopymon. I mean, very abusive card, very good. I don't know why Bandai made him a thing, but yeah, he's very good. Other level 4s, obviously we got our hybrids. We got 4 Kazaimon. No need to go into that really. 4 Zephyrmon. The when Digivolving plus 3000 does come up. You just got to be smart about it. It's another like hybrid for game. Then we got our level 5s. we've got 4 Jet Sylphimon because you have to have 4 because they haven't limited her for whatever reason. Broken card, busted card, being able to recover for only 1 memory typically is extremely insane. And I'll show you a crazy combo that you can do with Jet Sylphimon. So I'll kind of keep her to the side here. Then in terms of level 6s, we have 1 tech card with Shine Greymon. This card comes in so handy because your opponents do not expect it. And you can, a lot of times, wipe their board when you Digivolve because you suspend your multiple tamers that you usually have out, minus 4,000 DP for each. And it's just, so good. So good. Very good tech card. I would keep him in here because he just did a lot of work. And then the other 2 level 6s, we got Ophanimon Fall Down mode. So here's the combo that you can do. So you can Digivolve to Jet, draw, recover, then Digivolve on top of her into Ophanimon, draw, and recover. So you can recover twice on your turn typically. If you're given like 3 memory, you can Digivolve on top of a tamer with like a Kazemon, then Digivolve on top of that with Jet Sylphy for only 1. So you're looking at 3 memory right there. You recovered once already, then Digivolve again for 4. Give them 4 memory. It's not that big of a deal, but you've healed twice. It's so powerful. It's ridiculous. Next, we've got our option cards. Or no, excuse me. Let's do our level 7 first, then our options. 2 Susanomons. You gotta have 2, not 1, because if you're in the mirror match, having 2 helps because sometimes your opponent will only run 1, and then you can like refill your deck, possibly go for deck out, and then do board control. I used him a lot in the tournament, actually. I used him very aggressively, and it did pan out. It's just the one time it didn't pan out was against Blue Hybrid. Next, we've got 3 Wyvern's Breath. I was thinking maybe dumbing this down to 2, but the 3 split with Wyverns and Eden's Javelin did serve me well, and it did help out a lot. So I don't know if I would change it. Maybe I might. Who knows? Do like a 2-2 split, possibly. But those are those options. Then we do 2 yellow memory boosts because it helps with cycling, and the memory gain also helps out a lot. Next, we've got reinforcing at 1 because it's at 1. You gotta run this if you run yellow because it's overpowered. Then we've got star of the show, 2 Holy Flames. Now, as you guys watching this know, Mario got first place by running 4 of these guys, and there is definite merit to that. So I am definitely leaning towards cutting out 1 Eden and 1 Wyvern's Breath to do a 4 of Holy Flame because it's such a powerful floodgate card. It single-handedly won me one of my tougher matches against Imperial Dramon, because my opponent didn't realize that this is a global effect. So no matter what Digimon that he brings in, it automatically gets that -1 security check. So he put all of his eggs in a basket, Digivolve, did some Jawgrass shenanigans. He was going for game with Pyodramon. It was just like, yeah, I'm going to swing for game. I'm like, actually, you can't because you got -1. He's just like, oh. I'm like, yeah. Very good card. Next, I believe we have our Tamers. We got 4 TK for recovery and memory and cycling. Very good. We got 4 Zoe. There's an argument to dumb her down to like 3 copies possibly, but I like the 4. Helps out a lot. Then we've got the best tamer in the deck. We got Cody. He's so powerful. If you have 3 copies of him out, you can -6,000 to something when you swing with Rapidmon or Ophanimon. It's ridiculous. And then if you have 4 out, GG, honestly. if you have 4 of him out, you are more likely going to win, because if you attack, you can just minus 8,000 DP against a dude, and that usually kills most things. So, but yeah, that's the deck profile itself. Yeah, I think I do want to run the 4 Holy Flame that Mario did, because it's just so powerful. I don't like the Pokemon that he ran, but that's just my personal preference. Obviously, it worked for him. He got first. But I don't think I would run the 2 Pokemon. But that's just me. Okay, so that'll do it for the video today. We went over the Origins game convention that was in Columbus, Ohio, as well as the very first in real life Digimon TCG regional. So let me know in the comments below if you did end up attending, or if you talked to me, or if I talked to you, or if we faced one another. I would love to, talk to you in the comments down below, start a dialogue, all that fun stuff. And, if you attended, tell me about your experience too. So that's pretty much it, really. So if you made it this far, make sure you do, again, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It does help me out immensely. With that being said, though, I do hope that all of you stay safe out there, and above all else, I do hope that you stay rad.